if I can't finance a car, if you're saying not to buy more cars, what do I do in order to make sure that I don't put myself in that like debt hole of always purchasing cars? But I want to get to a good car. I just can't afford $16,000, $20,000 car. And so what I teach people, I teach them how to flip. You want to do the car flip. The car flip is a strategy that you can use to get to the car that you want without straining yourself and putting yourself in a predicament to where you got to pay a bill or you got to pay a car note or else. And that's the biggest thing I want to get you guys to understand. Learning how to become resourceful. I'm just going to show you this quick strategy on how you can do it. So say, for an example, you're able to save up to get to $2,000. You're able to save up to get to $2,000. It's very simple. Get a cash card. If you're poor, if you're broke, you need to be poor, you need to be broke, you need to feel it. Go get you a cash card, go get you a nice cash card that can at least last you for at least a year. And this is the reason why I'm gonna tell you this, because in the car flip, it's very simple. So what you do, you pay the same $500 a month that you were gonna pay anyway. You're gonna save that, you're gonna store that, right? So you take that $500 a month that you're gonna store and you save it for 6 months. First month, you save it for 6 months. So on the 6 month mark, you have $3,000 inside of your savings account. For one, what you got to understand when you're buying a used car, especially if you take a mechanic to kind of go look at it, the used car typically keeps its value. And so you get in a car for 2 G's and then able to 6 months later sell that same car, it won't lose that much value. Matter of fact, you'll still probably be able to sell it for $2,500 for $500 more. But let's just say you sell it even. So you got it for 2, you break even. You save $3,000. So what you want to do, you want to flip the car. So you want to trade in or flip the car. So flip the car means you sell it. So you sell the car for 2 G's. And then you use the 2 G's plus the 3,000 to be able to get you a $5,000 car. Look what just happened. You started with 2,000. You saved the $500 a month that you were going to spend anyway. And then you went and saved the money in the savings account. And then you purchased you a car. Well, guess what? If anything were to happen along the way, you couldn't pay your car note or something came up, you had to pay for your kids' bills of daycare, something came up where you couldn't pay get you a new car at that time. You have $3,000 in the savings account that you can be able to have access to without putting yourself in debt. Well, Jake, I want to get to another car. I kind of like that flipping idea. How can I get to the next car? Very simple. It's just a car flip. So now I got a car that's priced at 5 G's. I got a car that's priced at 5 G's. I know 6 months later, it's not really going to lose its value like that. And if it does or nobody wants to purchase it, I got a car that can last me, for some time and at least allow me to continue to save my money so that I can be able to trade this car in if I want. So what does the car flip tell us to do? The car flip tells us to save $500 a month, just like we were going to pay a car note. Put it in your savings account. So after 6 months, guess what you have again? You have $3,000 saved. So we got that $3,000 saved, and what you want to do, you want to take this $5,000, you want to flip it. So you want to flip the $5,000. Well, what do I do when I flip the $5,000 again, Jake? You sell it. You sell it to somebody that's going to pay it for $5,000. Sometimes dealerships will. Sometimes pre-owned companies will. Pre-owned dealerships will. So you sell it for 5 G's. Let's say you sold it for $4,800. You got $3,000. You bought it for 5 G's. You still got $7,800 to $8,000 that you can put in month 12. $8,000 that you can put in month 12. 5,000 plus the 8,000, that equals what? $8,000. Now you have access to be able to put down on an $8,000 car. You see the cars kind of get better. If you do this for a year or two, you'll finally get to the car that you want, an updated model. Then you can stay in that car for 7 years if you choose without having to pay that financing fee and have to deal with the burden of always trying to come up with the car note payment, so you can free up your cash flow so you can use it for better usage. So what you got to understand is if you broke, you broke. Don't try to fake like you're broke. You can flip it all the way to the car that you want. If you did this every year, you can literally flip to a $100,000 car if you chose without putting yourself at risk of having to pay a car note or be stuck in a debt with a car that you do not like or with a car that's no longer worth the value that you purchased it for. So there are plenty of strategies that you can use. This is just one that you can do. It's called the car flip. You don't have to stay in any car. You can use it for a little bit, save a little cash. If you can only save $500 a month, that's the same thing you would have been paying toward a car note. You got $3,000 in your account. You're not at you're not at risk or any pressure to use that $3,000 for a car. But if you just want to continue to flip, if you have no other strategies, and this is just a basic strategy that you can use to flip to get to the car that you want. That's the same way that you can do with any other thing that you're trying to purchase. Just buy something low, save your money, flip the car, use that money to purchase a bigger car. Save your money for 6 months, $500 a month, get $3,000 in the savings account again, then take the $5,000 car, flip it, sell it for $5,000. So $5,000 plus $3,000 equals $8,000. Now you got an $8,000 car using the same strategy that you would have used versus giving it to the bank. You're able to get yourself in a better car, put yourself in a better situation. And if you go to an auction or find somebody that can go to an auction for an $8,000 car, if you got cash, you pretty much can get a really, really decent car that can at least last you about 4 to 5 years. And you can do the strategy all over again if you choose. So that's just a quick strategy that I would do if you have no money, no resources, you have nobody to talk to. Just car flip your way to the best car that you can without putting yourself at risk to being in debt with somebody that you don't want to be in. Don't allow the bank to have you serve the MasterCard because you have a master who holds the card. Remember that. Be the lender, not the borrower.